Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host Brian, and today I'm joined by guest and friend of the show, Kyle Petty. Kyle, how you doing?
Mm, I am fantastic. I'm so happy to be here again.
I know
Welcome back to me.
it's been too long. We haven't had our shows like Claim to Fame. We had a little meet up on one week, but then like just things kind of schedules clash.
So
Maybe back for
funky.
Survivor, but it's good to have you back or anonymous. And we were talking pre-show. This could be a thing going forward, which is really nice.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm here.
So
I'm
before
here.
we get started, I you wanted to come on last week. You couldn't watch in advance because they did like the weirdest drop of all time of any TV show. 11 o'clock to 1. You have 3 hours of a TV show that's brand new on like
Mhm.
Sci-Fi Network and USA Network, like, weird channels. And they finally dropped them on Peacock on this Monday, right? I think they dropped it a
Yes.
week later, and then you
Yesterday.
found something
Yeah.
today, so that's why we're current. But tell me what you think of the show, just because I did it by myself last week. Good to hear somebody else's opinion on the page.
This show is absolutely fantastic. Anybody not watching needs to get on board because the commercials and trailers do not serve it any justice.
Agree.
There are so many layers to this game. I mean, it's a game within a game within a game, and I mean, to their credit, there's not much you could do to try to explain this in a commercial, right? Like there's so many
Mhm.
layers to it, but it is absolutely exciting. I'm not going to run down what the exact the game structure is. You should already know what that is coming into this, but
Right.
super super fantastic, and I love that there are no I always get concerned when you've got a game that is cast with a bunch of civilians, and then you've got people that have played reality TV shows before, like
Mhm.
your Xavier from Big Brother and Nina from Australian Survivor. Also, knowing that she is the daughter of the great, Sandra Diaz
Mhm.
Twine is
Mhm.
like, that automatically, makes you a target. It makes you feel like they might have the upper hand on the social structure, though. But not in this game because nothing that you say as real people actually matters. Like when it comes down to the game itself, all the
Yeah.
chats that you're having and the votes. So I'm here for it. I think this is fantastic.
Yeah, and to your point about like these the mix match like they did on Trader season 1, like for US, I
Mhm.
think the anonymous voting and like the chat kind of neutralizes any of the alliances because you don't want to give away what you are because then people can come after you that are not in your alliance
Right.
easily with the voting. So yeah, I think it's really cool. I enjoyed it, and I'm with
Yeah.
you. Like I said when I did the review last week, I was a little worried about the show. Like it just was like I don't know what to expect, and I thought it was good. I really did. And I think this week I might even like it more. 'Cause I thought the twist was good.
Yeah, I've been very vocal about not liking when other people come into the game. I do think that when you're playing a social game and you've eliminated some people, that you should not be set back. That is, I like a lot of these things to Uno. I don't like when you make me draw two, draw four, anything. I accomplished getting to this stage,
Right.
and I don't think you should be able to negate my progress. But in a game like this, where so many things don't matter the same, so like any kind of leg up that you feel like you had socially or any kind of ground you thought you gained, you didn't really, because these people could just be lying to you the entire time. So what difference does it make that
Right.
three other people came in? If anything, that's an advantage. Here's three new people that I can maybe try to like sway onto my side.
Right. So
Yeah.
Danny did say in the first batch episodes that once you're out of the game, you will not be coming back. So when I saw this twist that like 12 avatars are now in the chat, I thought three of them were going to be AI.
I thought that too, honestly.
And
I was
I
like,
thought,
maybe
I was
this is
like,
not real people.
yeah, like I could have been here for it because they could
Mhm.
just put some like doubt into the chat and like,
It could
you know
be
what I mean?
anything.
And I think that would have been cool too. I'm fine with this as well. But
I'm
I
about to say,
thought
are
like,
you disappointed that this is the way that it went?
I mean, maybe a smidge because I'd like to see that
Yeah.
like I guess timeline difference of like how the show could go if they had three AIs kind of messing up people's games and like
Yeah.
they don't know who's saying what, especially because like
Yeah.
the anonymous factor of the chat, they could just be throwing people under the bus like randomly, like, oh, here's a
Just
wheel.
stirring stuff
Yeah, and
up.
they show the AIs like, oh, today we're just gonna talk about these three people no matter what. And it's like that'd be kind of crazy. It'd just be a nice little fun thing to see because this is like I know this is kind of like the circle, like a tiny smidge about like you can fake who you want to be, and I hate that show. So I
Hate it
thought
too.
they did AI for a little bit, and I thought that could have saved the show, and then they killed it after 1 week. But like I think that would have been really cool here because you have these different personalities, and then they can go see each other in public. Like who said that? Like because I don't mean to jump ahead here, but when Dylan came out and yelled at Christopher,
Oh,
if I wasn't at work, I would have been like just hooting and hollering. I liked it. I liked that
I
that
rewound it so many times.
that confrontation was great.
Yeah, that commentation was great, and I
Mhm.
was also just a little bit more endeared towards him. I didn't always I, Dylan is an interesting character. You know, I don't really like when people, I feel like they're overperforming for the camera, which is
Yeah,
why I don't like the circle. And I kind of got the feeling that that's what we were going to get from him.
yeah,
But when
I can
he's
see that.
alone, he actually doesn't overperform. It's when he's with other people that I find him to be a little bit more grating.
Mhm.
But in this moment, I really liked it.
But him yelling, yeah, he's like,
Him
best
yelling at Christopher,
believe
yes.
I'm voting you out. But I
Yes,
love,
and because like you said it with your whole chest
yeah,
as you. It's not like you
mhm,
hid behind
yeah,
it. Like you
right,
said, like here I am as Dylan, not as Popsicle or
yeah,
whatever he was like before that. It's like
yeah. Alien to popsicle was
Alien to Popsicle. Yeah, it's like it's not like you're saying this there where it's like, okay, like you're just like
mhm.
whatever. No, he walked up in his regular fit with his whole chest and said it all, which I thought was great. Um,
It was so good. I loved every second of it because Chris is doing that like crappy flirt game
yeah.
where like he was with Sydney, who got
Mhm.
eliminated week one, and then now he's moving right over Victoria. And let me just run through the new people real quick. So
So yeah,
like
you mentioned
just we're
Sydney
jumping
before. I
ahead here
don't
because it's
remember
the
her.
fun parts of the show. But like in
Mhm.
the first batch of episodes, the 12 people chose avatars and they had a reset, which I also thought was really cool because I don't think they could have played the entire game with the same avatars every single time. But I don't know if I said it on my review, but like when I thought about it, I was like, I don't know how they're going to keep doing this with the same stuff because eventually you can do trial and error or not trial and
Yeah,
error.
like but process of
Yeah,
elimination.
process of elimination of like who
Mhm.
said what based off of like you know what I mean, like who's like tough on the votes and things like that. Like, oh, there was only two people left, and but everyone wants to get rid of him. They're somehow anonymous. That person say like you can start to like kind of do things here. And I liked it, and I almost did. But that's kind of one thing I would have also liked more if they kept the same avatars pool, so you could be somebody else and like kind of like somebody else could be the butterfly from Xavier or like and you just try to act like that person. Like
Mm.
there's a lot of different wrinkles you could have done. I mean, I'm fine with what they did here with the new avatars, but that's what I was also thinking when they're going to change. I thought they're just going to have the same pool of pictures and then you can choose.
Yeah, that is interesting because like who else would have picked up the football
Right,
avatar? Like, what does that now mean? After
right.
you've now doubled down so much on being the Andy hater, what if all of a sudden you switch gears and like you're just focusing on somebody else?
Yeah.
Um, Also interesting then if was his name Jake,
Jake,
John,
yes.
Jake.
Jake.
If Jake had repicked the football, no,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doubling down and I'm just switching targets. Another interesting way
Yeah,
of
right. It's just a
being
different way to play the game.
on this. Yeah. Um,
Just different. It's just an idea. Just an idea I was thinking when I was
yeah.
watching. So
No,
many
I like
different
that. You know,
things.
I like
And that's why I
speculation.
kind of like it. Like
Hmm.
when that scene happened, I there were so many possibilities that they could have done, and they still picked a good one. But I was just like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen here. 'Cause you know, we watch these shows, we watch all these Survivor, Big Brother. You kind of can predict twist at this point. It's like,
Right. Yeah.
drop your buffs. Here we go. Ooh, what do we do? Pick a rock, turn it over. Oh, oh, you're the captain. Like it was cool to see something completely
Yeah.
different that we haven't seen. So I enjoyed that, and we had three new people come in because, like I said earlier, I thought it was gonna be AI when the three and I want to go back to Dylan real quick. His reactions in like when they're voting and people vote for him are also awesome. Oh man.
Yes.
And Marcel is like, I bet you he's yelling right now. And then they cut over to him and he's
Yes.
yelling. He's like, I can't
He's
hear it, but I
screaming.
can imagine. I think that's funny. They did a good job with the editing somewhere too. Like,
They have done a great job
I
with
like
that.
that. And
Yeah, and
it's
Dylan is
funny.
so much more fun than I
Yeah.
thought he was going to be. I do have a question for you before you
Yeah.
move on too far.
Yeah.
So if the three new avatars actually were AI, that's really fun for the chat, but then what happens for
Oh,
that
that's true.
vote? You know,
That is true. That
yeah, what
is
do you
that's
do with that? Do you maybe just pile on, like maybe the top three vote getters, you just toss another one on there? Like,
oh, you think they got to vote?
well, they would have to vote, or else then you would know they were AI.
Oh, that is a good point. Hmm.
Yeah. So like, where do those votes
I
go?
didn't
What
even
what
see.
makes that
I didn't even
fair?
that thing was a thought in my head for maybe a minute, and then when we found out we had three new people coming in,
Gone,
it
gone.
died on the table, so I didn't really
Yep, no,
think
that
that.
was me too. And when you mentioned it, I was like, "Oh, right, I did think that." And like now, as
Yeah,
you as you think it through a little bit further, it's like, "Well, wait a
that's a
minute."
good. I wonder what they could do. Like, I'm sure they could think of something where it's like maybe we'll vote for the three people who were the worst in the challenge, or like stuff like
Or
that.
maybe the three AI people vote for each other. But then, like, what would happen then if the AI person? Oh no, the AI person can't be voted out, which means you can't actually vote for each other because you don't have a real
Well,
thing.
yeah, they could just trick the thing where it's like the three. You know how they do the safe? Like, there's five, whoever's vulnerable, and then like trim it down to two or three. They can just take them out every time if they really wanted to. But then it kind of ruins the integrity of the game.
It does. Because then, for what reason would you say, "Oh, this person was removed"?
But
Why?
okay,
Why is Popsicle always
right,
safe?
right. And then well, going back to what you just said, where they could be voted for, maybe they could get eliminated, and then it's like, oh, that's an AI, and then they didn't know that, and then they're like, holy crap, I thought it was this guy, and like people could be just something.
Yeah, I guess
Thoughts
that
might
also
be
then
weird.
takes away from the rest of it. Then
Yeah.
because yeah, I
Hell,
don't
but look,
know.
it was an idea in our head. Let us know if you thought
It
the same
was
thing. I imagine if somebody else has it, thought the same thing when you're watching it
yeah, passing thought,
for
passing
30
thought.
seconds.
Let us know in the
But,
comments. Yeah.
all right, so we have three people. We have Victoria. She is the cactus. We have Bisma. She is the eagle, and Wayne, and he's the light bulb. And I think Wayne was the only one who didn't really disclose. Oh, Bisma didn't disclose her job either. She lied about being like a real estate agent. She works in politics. She's like a
Yeah,
political
political
campaigner.
lobbyists or
Yeah,
something like
lobbyist
that.
campaigner or something like
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
Wayne was an undercover cop, and what did he say? He was like a was he like a janitor? He's like the head of the janitors in a school or something. He's like, I love
Oh,
watching my kids go to school. I think he was like a janitor.
yikes! I don't remember that part at all.
Yeah,
I
it
only
was
remember
super
the
crazy.
cop part.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said that to a couple of the guys when they were talking in the
So I hope so.
square
So
house,
creepy.
safe
Oh,
house, whatever they call it. But pretty sure he said he was like a head of the janitors of like a district or something. I don't know.
oh, okay.
Doesn't
All right.
matter. But he's a cop.
Good for you, Wayne.
Victoria said I think she gave her a real job because I went on their Instagrams to get their picture for
Mhm.
when I edit here. And I think Victoria did say her real job. She's like a travel blogger. She's like posting, but honestly, not surprising based off of her.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She told Christopher, and Christopher was like, I love the free dive. I love the free dive too.
Ah,
Yeah.
gross. I hate them. I hope it's already over.
Well, I mean, spoiler alert, he is one of the people that could be eliminated.
Mm,
So
I mean, it has to be.
anything else on those three people?
No,
Yeah,
no. I guess the only other thing I would have liked to know why they chose the avatars they chose. They kind of like skip
that's
past
true.
that.
That is true. Good
Because we
point.
did at least get to know why the original group got to choose theirs. At least there was a little bit there.
Yeah, it was a little less this time. I thought the first time they really dove into it. I had to like pause to write down like the last batch I could write
Mm.
down, listen. I will say Marcel choosing a snake looks very similar to a dollar sign. I don't know why he did that.
Yeah, it does. And like I wouldn't have chosen the green, even the pattern of the dollar sign and the
Yeah.
snake looks similar. I was like, this
Mhm.
looks
Mhm.
very, very the same. But that could also be what throws people. Like, would you think that you would choose an avatar that looks
Right.
styled similarly? So maybe that was part of the strategy.
Let me run through those real quick, just so, especially when I get to the vote in a little bit, based off
Mhm.
of the avatars. Dylan chose the popsicle, like we said. Christopher chose the lipstick. Marcel chose the
Okay.
snake. Xavier chose the scissors. Jack chose the flamingo. Robbie chose the rocket. Nina chose fire, which I think was a little questionable.
Yeah, I didn't know
But,
about that.
I didn't like that one.
Especially she doesn't know that people are chatting about the
Yeah,
possibility because that is really how this episode opened,
yeah.
right? It was I think was it
Jack,
Christopher or
Christopher,
Jack?
Xavier. Jack, Christopher, and Xavier. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And Xavier, I was surprised that he didn't know. Like he was like, wait, who? And it's like he needed
He's
to
a
be
big dog.
prodded like a little bit. Yeah, I think it was Jack who first mentioned it.
Yeah, it was definitely Jack. Jack's like a
Yeah,
low key player. I mean, when he's a board game, he's like a
I like
professional
Jack.
board game player, whatever. I like him too.
Yeah, I think he's
Wearing like
smart.
tuxedos and stuff.
I
Professional.
enjoy him. Um, yeah.
Yeah, Lily, Robot, Andy, Lightning. Anybody in that part, any of those people you don't really like. I know we didn't really go into the cast. We kind of talked about people we liked. I don't really have a
No, I
problem with
actually
anybody.
no, I like this cast. I think
Yeah.
they're all fun in their own ways. There's a part of me that's rooting for Lily, however. because she, kind of like purported herself that like she's kind of a quiet person, and depending on the group that she's in, she might be a little bit more extroverted.
Mhm.
And just for that, I kind of just want good things for her. Like I like that she is getting a little bit more aggressive, and now with this handle switch, I think we're going to see a different Lily. I think we're going to see a different everyone. But I
Yeah,
am rooting for Lily because she was just behind the eight ball for like the entire first part of this game.
I think people that could really switch how they played was like Jack, Robbie, Lily, because she didn't really do anything, and maybe Andy, because they didn't really do anything. I think Robbie and Jack are probably the two that could really kind of take a step back because Jack was always like, "I'm voting Andy,"
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
throwing out names, and Robbie kind of was also throwing out names, kind of being pretty blunt, so they can change. I thought that was if anybody benefited most from the change, I thought it'd be like Robbie and Jack because they can change who they are because of how
Right.
vocal they were. Because everybody
Mm-hmm.
else that's gone kind of what were vocal.
They were. They were. I like the shift in Andy though with the handle switch as
Yeah,
well, because Andy definitely became more aggressive. It's like, okay, now that I get what this game is, I know how I have to act when I'm in the anonymous
yeah,
zone, and that excited me a lot. To the same point, I think it would have been fun to see if Tyrina would have behaved differently
yeah.
if she made it to the
I
handles.
liked her.
I liked her too.
Mhm.
I liked how she even handled the
When
what
they
was
were
it,
talking
that
about it.
the safe not safe challenge with the
Oh yeah,
things.
with the box, diamonds,
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah, I thought that was cool, and also to Marcel's point, thought he handled that great too.
Yeah,
Um,
he did the fake
yeah,
fear.
hmm.
One thing I will say about Andy, he needs to cool it with the puns and dad jokes about lightning because he will like you don't show your age. Like that's such an old guy thing to do. Just
Right,
cool it. Lightning is gonna
right.
strike on blah blah. I'm like,
Oof,
that was your one time
oof.
use. Don't use it again.
You're done.
You'll be found
You're
out.
done. Yes, and there was something else that he had done, and I don't remember what it was word for word. But in this second conversation, somebody had thrown a shot at Andy in that anonymous chat. And then his response as lightning was, well, comma, something, something, something. And it's like, just you adding that well
Yeah,
shows that you are responding to that, which means you're defending it, which means lightning is Andy. And it's
yeah,
like you're not picking up, you're you're reacting so emotionally that you're not
mhm,
realizing that like you're setting
right.
yourself up. You just have to be
Yeah,
quiet. Like when Christopher was being talked about, he didn't say anything. He's like,
yeah,
all right,
right,
what do I do? Lily did the same thing. Oh, this is happening. It's like, I gotta be quiet. I can't show my
right.
cards here. And
Hmm.
Andy doesn't give a single fig.
No, no. Let's
No.
think about the next Firefest.
Oof.
So,
Not his fault. Wasn't his fault.
they choose their avatars, and then we have the weekly challenge. And because we have three new contestants, they're going to be the captains, and they have to pick a team, essentially like assemble a block or like a rectangle on a weighted scale, and you have to get exactly
Mhm.
160 pounds, or is it just 100? I don't. What do you think? Do you think it's actually 160 pounds? Or do you think they just?
Oh, maybe not pounds. What's the thing that's less than that? Stones?
I think stones are more ounces.
Oh, ounces, kilograms.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe grams. They didn't really
Yeah.
say, but they said they had to get to 160.
Hmm.
So we had a Bismuth team, we had a Victoria team, and we had a Wayne team. Bismuth's team was Jake. I keep saying Jake, dude. I like you said, is it Jack or Jake? I keep writing my notes, Jake, Jack, all over the place. She picks Jack. She picks Christopher. She picks Lily. Victoria chooses Robbie, Marcel, and Dylan. And Wayne chooses Xavier, Nina, and Andy.
Okay.
And do you think this game is as close as I always take I never can watch these and see like they I feel like because we watched the challenge we know they fudged the
Mhm.
editing to make it look
And
a lot closer than it
the
actually is.
mole definitely does
Right.
that.
I don't know
Mhm.
how close this actually was.
I don't know
Like
how close this
that's
about these are. It didn't seem like even the way that the second team celebrated led me to believe they were just celebrating because they got it correct.
yeah,
It
they got
wasn't
money.
because they were so close. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the weakest part of the show, right? We're in agreement here. The
It
challenges.
is. It is the weakest part of the show. And I would say that I'm okay with that
Yeah.
because there's again so many layers to it. It's like, oh, who cares about this? Honestly, you
Right.
can just give me a highlight reel and I'd be fine with it. Like let's do everything else because the social stuff is way more fun.
Right. Right. Because
Yeah.
we still got the fun, the chats, the people confronting each other.
Oh yeah.
You know, that
That's what the show is about.
it's okay to have these moments where they got to make money somehow. I don't know how else they would do it with the challenge, but
Yeah, they have to make money, and no, it's an important part of the show because it does also give people a reason to say, "Oh, I want this person to go out because they're not contributing to the team pot." It does give people another reason to nominate people, so like it definitely shouldn't go away, but it definitely is the
you're
the
basically saying
the
the plot of the
lowest
episode.
part. Say again?
Christopher versus Dylan. That's the plot of the episode, pretty much.
Oh,
People,
basically.
he's
Oh yeah,
annoyed because he's not making any money, but they're not even talking about Andy, who's just like also
also
not.
not making any money.
We'll see how that goes. But winning
Yeah.
team was Bisma by what they thought to show us was seconds. So they got $3,000. Every other team also finished, so they added $9,000 to the pot. They said they can get up to 100,000. I mean, we're not even that close. How
We're
long
not
is
that
this?
close. So what are we at? Like 30 though, and we're only on
Now
episode 4.
41.
Okay, all
I think
right.
4150 or 41,500 because it was 32,500, I think, at the end of episode 3. I
Well,
think.
the way with these winnings are going, like the prize pot amounts, kind
Yeah.
of feel like if you can at least get to, I don't know, like 10,000 an episode,
Yeah.
like you can make it. Well, assuming we're gonna get to 10, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
I hope they don't add like a mole factor into it about like spending money because I don't love that in mole. They do it too much
Oh, like
here with the
depleting the
show.
team
Yeah,
bank. You
I
don't
don't
like
love it.
that?
Don't like that. They're
Oh,
just gonna they just give it all back. So it's like don't oh you have no money, but next week you win $100,000. Just give it small increments and just level it up. I don't love there's no stakes then.
right, right. I agree with that. I would like depleting the team bank if it actually stayed. Like I
Yeah,
don't want you to know that you can deplete it knowing that there will be an opportunity to
right.
replace it
Exactly.
later. It has to
Exactly.
be a finite thing that's the end of it. You lost 10,000, you're done.
Mm, mhm.
This team pot can now not be any more than
Right.
90,000.
I
Like
agree.
that I would accept.
We need stakes, and the mole has not given us stakes.
No, no,
Netflix
I
series.
think that really, really
Need stakes on my
deflated that
yes.
season completely.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Big
Yeah.
facts. Big
Yeah.
facts.
Mhm.
All right, so we have the voting, and I have it broken down by the avatar, so I can go run through them, and then like if you are like, who was that? I can reference the notes, but like it's just easier when they because the screen does
Yeah.
it, It's like
Right.
so. All right, so we have Robbie has one vote from Popsicle, and we know that is
Dylan.
Dylan. We have
Mhm.
Christopher. He had Lightning. Well, I'm going to try to do my memory here. Lightning, Andy, Cactus, Victoria, Flamingo, Jake,
Flamingo. Jake Jack.
Jake Jack.
Yes.
Jake Jack is Flamingo.
Football. Flamingo is football.
Okay, yes. And
Crazy
then
if
also
that's
Light
easy.
Bulb. So that is also Wayne. So Christopher has
Wayne.
5 votes of the possible 12.
Mhm.
Andy, Snake. So that's Marcel. Scissors, which is Xavier, and Fire, that we know is Nina.
Mhm.
Again, not a good avatar choice by her.
Not at all.
Nina, Robot, which is the Lily. Lipstick, which is
Chris.
Christopher. Xavier, Eagle, which is Bisma, and Rocket, which is Robbie.
Yeah. It's the
I can't
repurposed
believe I just nailed
Robbie.
all those.
Yeah. I'm
My
impressed.
brain, like this is what I waste all my memory on is reality TV. It's
I
sad.
say we celebrate this. Way to go. Look at Brian giving a damn.
There you go. Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
show
That's
he
funny
actually
when you like a
likes.
show. Yeah, when I like a show, I can remember things.
Yeah, see that? Many lamentations to Survivor.
How do you feel about that outcome there? Like Christopher, not really totally surprising because of the outward flirting. They're
Mhm.
worried about any showmance, whatever they want to call it. They're always going to pick each other if they actually get together. So I
Right.
understand the mindset there to even put him in danger and also put like the spotlight on Victoria, like after that altercation, like, hey, you're attached to him no matter what, even if you just got here.
Sucks for Victoria, but
It
I get
does.
it. Yeah, I get it. Makes good
She voted
sense.
for him.
Which I also thought was fun.
Me
Which
too. I
is
liked
what
it.
makes this game so good is that I can be so outwardly in
Yeah,
love and supportive of this person. But the second we get back there, all bets are off.
I like it.
It's
I enjoyed it.
amazing.
I like that. I mean, that to me made it look like she's here to play. Like, because the two other
Yep.
people, they're not really having any stakes in the game of relationships yet. So if she's
Mhm.
ready to do that on week 1, because
Yeah.
he's not
Please
ready.
just get rid of Christopher. Get him out of here. I want to see what else Victoria does. because she
Yeah,
would be the foundation of like some other alliance as she burns.
right.
I
I
love you
agree.
guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Vote it out. Like
Yeah.
she's already good TV.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's keep her.
So we talked about Dylan confronting Christopher, which was great.
Mm,
And then we have the little ceremony where they stand in the center and they trim it down from usually like three, two, from like five or four to three or down to two. So the
mm.
people that are saved are Andy, Xavier, and Nina. So that leaves Robbie and Christopher. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. If Robbie goes home, I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm gonna be really disappointed. I like her.
I like Robbie too. Robbie's fun. Um, Robbie was the only reason I was upset. That wasn't upset. I thought was the one negative to the handle switch. I think it would have been very interesting if people started to figure out
Yeah,
that Robbie was Dice, because
yeah, I
Dice
agree.
was very aggressive in the chat where Robbie was not in person. So I would have loved to see what that looked like if
Mhm.
that got figured out.
Right.
But
Especially after Tyrina went home. So that's kind of like people were confused. So that was
convinced.
cool. That's what
Yep.
I thought would be kind of cool about like. So do you think it's like every 3 weeks they're going to change handles? I feel like that might be a thing. I also have another idea when you're
I
done. Your
I
thought here, though.
guess. I mean, I guess that's possible. It's so hard to say what we think now because it's
Yeah,
so early in a concept that's so new to
yeah, I
us.
know. It's fun to
But there
speculate.
is something fun about the idea of like maybe only refresh these handles when you're bringing new people in.
Yeah,
Um,
do that. How would you feel if you won the certain challenge in a couple weeks? You had the option to refresh handles.
oh, you would have the power of
The
whether or not
winner,
that
yeah. Like
happens.
I want to reset.
Oof.
Like if they're like, hey, winning this challenge this week is paramount.
Right.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Well, that would be cool. That would be cool. Now, would I take something like that? I think it
But
depends on.
this could be a secret challenge, kind of like how like they go into confessional and like, hey,
Uh-huh.
you did like we're not going to tell the rest of the people that you're the reason it changed. If it was like a secret, I think that would be really sweet. Kind of like your AI stuff going on in Big Brother. Like
Hmm.
Tucker's not allowed to tell people if he
The
does
AI
these things. Like
instigator.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
I think it only helps like unless you've had some success with winning the anonymous. I think it depends on when it comes in the game and how well you're doing.
sure,
Um, because
yeah,
if you're somebody like Jack/Jake, um,
yeah,
football and flamingo,
yeah.
if you're one of those people, like maybe I don't want these things reset because I was doing pretty good.
Right, winning twice in a row.
Yeah, but like if I'm kind of not getting it right anyway, it
Yeah, it would
only
just be
decreases
nice.
everybody else's chance of getting
Yeah,
it right. So at least it
exactly.
levels the playing field. So
It's just an idea. I'm not saying that it needs to
yeah.
be how it
No,
is, but
I
I just think that the idea of those things, like you said, these different wrinkles, and it's like 50% of the game. If you're, like you said, in a terrible position or you're screwing up every single time on this test, why wouldn't you?
right.
You change your whole game.
You sure could. Yeah, I think it depends on where you are in that. Um, I think it'd be so interesting when you get down to less people though. Like obviously you're gonna want to refresh these nonstop.
Yeah,
Yeah, it depends on a lot of different
yeah.
things.
Anything's possible, which is kind of
Mhm.
what is exciting about this new show. Is like we don't know what's going to happen,
Right. This
and
is fully uncharted
yeah, it's nice.
territory.
It's very
Yeah.
nice.
I
And let us know in
love
the
it.
comments if you have any fun ideas like that, or are you? If this is the only time you want to see Twitch and the emojis, emblems, whatever you want to call them, I think there's just so much stuff you can talk about, like what they could do.
Hell yeah.
I gotta find
Hmm.
the Reddit page for this and see what people are
What are people saying out
speculating.
there?
What are the
Yeah,
people
Twitter's
saying?
been pretty quiet. Like the hashtag is like nothing. I got no traction in the couple of tweets I threw out there. Like
Really, I think
nothing
I
interesting.
favored one of them. Hopefully that get. Yeah, I guess we'll have to. Maybe I'll retweet this on my main actual personal Twitter and see what happens.
Yeah, no one
Maybe
seems
some
that they. I
traction
don't.
there,
I don't
but
know that they're watching, but I would understand why they're not though,
timing
because
is
again, the
terrible.
show has not done. They have not done a good job with promoting this. Which I mean, you and I we
And
discussed this. Like when you watch these trailers and commercials, like there's no way to encapsulate all the things that are going on in
right.
like a 1 minute trailer. So
And
get
I
into it.
mean, when this show's on at Mondays at 11 p.m., I mean, Monday
Too
Night
late.
Football starts in 2 weeks. I mean, I'm sorry. Like,
Oh,
who's going to watch that over football? You might. I like the show too, but I'm sorry. I'm watching, like, a majority of the country cares about football more than they care about the show that
No, you're
never.
absolutely right. That's why I sheepishly
Yeah, I
hold
mean,
my hand
it's
up because I do realize I am in the minority
the
once
time
again.
slot is awful. The time slot. I mean, we
It's
watch
terrible.
everything and try to record. I mean, 11 o'clock is way too late for us. I mean, we got
Yeah,
jobs, we
it's
got
late.
kids,
Yeah, we
we have
got real life
commitments.
going on. Right.
That's a terrible time slot. They need to fix that. If they get to the second season, it needs to be
Yeah, I don't
nine
know why
o'clock.
they did that. Like, what's happening on USA in between 8 and
Put it on
11 that this
Sci-Fi
needs to
at
be
9.
this
I
late?
saw it was on Sci-Fi too. Put it on Sci-Fi at 9. Like, why does this need to
Yeah,
be
I don't know. I don't
weird?
know.
Put it right onto Peacock. People would watch
But
it, I think, if it
I
was
don't
like,
understand why they are delaying this so much. In the
Mhm.
beginning, I say, okay, so your premiere event, that's why you're doing this, because you want to air the first three on USA. You want to get people to watch on your broadcast channels. But then once it came out on Peacock, I thought we were going to now catch up to a regular posting schedule. And like we have not.
Yeah,
Like, I don't understand what the like what is that
it's something
supposed
to
to be?
worry
What is the
about.
motivation behind that? Like,
Yeah, it's something to worry about because maybe I need to go look at my what is on from 8, what's on at 8, what's on at 9, what's on at 10 that's pushing it to 11
yeah, because 11
on
is late.
Mondays.
Like, that's not your typical prime time. Like,
No, it's terrible.
you're
It's
getting
terrible.
into the like Tonight Show territory. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I think the
late.
latest show I ever watched and we cover is 10 to 11. I've never chartered to cover a show that ends at 11.
Right.
That's nuts.
I
Or ends at
thought at
mid.
first it was just because the DNC was airing.
Maybe.
And then
Yeah,
when I
okay.
realized they were just keeping that time, I was like, oh no, like you guys mean 11. Like that wasn't like a mistake. Like that wasn't just like a
Is there
one-off
nothing?
thing.
Is
Like,
there something else going? Is there other political stuff going on?
not anymore.
All right, we'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll have to
Yeah, the
monitor.
RNC was last month. We had the
Yeah.
DNC, now that's done. So like what's up at 11? Like what's
Yeah,
going
it
on?
is weird. It is super weird. I
Yeah.
don't know what they're gonna do about it, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. Maybe it'll get
Hmm.
bumped. People need to watch it. I mean, honestly, if no one's talking about it, that's I don't. Why would it move? So that's just
Also true.
that's
But
probably the
how can
biggest
it move? You can't get people to
blunder.
talk about it if you don't move it. Like
Right. Mm.
it's not
Yeah,
all our
but
fault.
we like the show here, and hopefully next
We
week
love
Bill
it.
can be on, and we can have three man, and maybe even John, maybe Gina, if
Yeah,
things
let's bring
work
them
out, they
back. Let's
watch
bring
it.
them back.
What's going on, Strat
Everything
Chat?
absolutely. I would love to talk about the Star Trek. Get out of here.
Oh, and you
We
want to
can
talk
talk
it on
about Star
Strat
Trek.
Chat too?
We can talk about it everywhere.
Yeah.
There's no place where I would not talk about the. All right, you had me downloading the NBC app just to talk
Hey,
about it.
I
Okay?
just wanted you to watch it in a timely manner, and I don't want you to have to wait a whole week. Then we're never going to be able to talk about it together. That's
I'm not shading you. I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to wait a
yeah.
week either.
And also, it's
No.
also if you don't want to download that, I saw it was available on USA Network on the website as well. So check that out if you want to keep up somewhat timely if you don't have cable,
Mm,
and then on the NBC app, like Kyle said, check it out there. But
just borrow somebody's login.
what
That's
before
mine.
we get out of here, tell me what is going on with Stretch Chat. What do you got going on?
Strat Chat. We are still carrying the Big Brother 26 torch. We do things live in the Strat Chat house. We are live at 9:20 on eviction nights on Thursdays. Everybody else goes live at 9:15, but we like to get a snack and have a tinkle. So 9:20. We've been doing the challenge on Mondays, but I think that we're going to start doing that on Thursdays, kind of like back to back, either that or Survivor, because there's a lot happening. But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
tough for
we're
you
covering
with
both.
your all your shows kind of are on the same day.
Yes. Hmm. It's a
Your
pile.
Wednesdays are jammed. Well,
Wednesdays have a
I
lot
mean, I
going
guess
on.
you can still do, but you really it's your Thursdays because, like, you got. I mean, Survivor's over, but if you're gonna do Big Brother, you gotta do Challenge, which all of those are also on Wednesday. That's a lot of
Hmm.
watching.
But Survivor is right around the corner.
Yeah, that's a lot of watching for one day and
It
kind of
sure
keep.
is.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of work, but check them out. We enjoy the
Yeah.
show. We
Yeah.
don't
Hang
like Big
out.
Brother over here, but I watch it because of Kyle.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Dre. Yeah, so thanks for watching. We will probably have. I don't know what the next thing we probably will have Bachelor maybe next. I'm not 100% sure. Depends on when Bill and I actually do it. Claim to Fame finale tomorrow, so we are excited about that. We'll be covering it. Stretch Out will also be covering it. We just don't know when because of, like you said, is it Labor
Labor
Day?
Day. Yeah,
Labor
because
Day.
we were doing Claim to Fame on Mondays.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
now that that's going to be Labor Day, I don't know what's happening. And my
Yeah.
phone's busted. So
Hmm.
I spoke to you more today than I did Gina. So sorry to her.
Look at that. Watch out, Gina. Come
Oops.
for your spot.
Oops.
No Quinn love over here.
Absolutely not. No,
No, no,
absolutely
no.
not. No, not allowed.
We also dropped Love Island, Love is Blind UK reunion
Mm.
the other night. Nobody tends to agree with what we thought about reunion, but check it out and let us know your thoughts. And we have a ton of other stuff going on. There's so much going on. I gotta watch Love and Hip Hop later tonight too. It never stops on this page with
I'll
video
say,
and
what aren't you doing?
yeah,
That's the better
exactly.
question. Yeah,
Right.
it's easier to list those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Big brother.
screwed.
So we just steer him over your way.
That's nice. What are
Yeah.
you doing about the challenge? You coming to the challenge?
We actually done the first 2 weeks, surprisingly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, wow. You gonna keep up with it?
If yeah, I'm
All right.
I'm a hater. I have been enjoying it. We'll see how it goes now the eliminations are over. Like one elimination week could be like a punch to the gut.
Unless there's multiple people going each
Yeah,
time.
we'll have to see how it goes. I'm
Yeah.
interested. Just don't mess it up. They've done well so far. Let's kind of keep it
Yeah. Last week we
moving.
lost 8. That's excellent.
Yeah, but we still need to. We don't. This season doesn't need to be 20 plus episodes. Let's
No,
2 week. I think
we
would
need
keep it
we need
two
another
week.
purge, things like
Yeah,
that.
two
Yeah, for
week. If
sure.
there's 32 people left, and there what like 6 people run the finale, maybe 8. That would be 24. That means 12 episodes if you do double elimination. So that's 13, 14, maybe 15 if it's a 2-part finale. That's not
That'd be
bad.
fine.
Just
Yeah, if
doing
a
the
guy
math
and a
off the
girl left each time,
yeah.
that's very
I'm
possible.
fine with that. And I don't want to just dive right into the challenge, but I don't want it to be the eras cannibalizing each other every single time. I wanted to like switch it up. Like this week we're a team, we're going after this era. Like I don't want it to just be
Mm.
cannibalism. I don't know how you feel about that, but
No, I agree with that too. Because that's not fun either. I don't want for their drama to get stale. You know, when you're carrying a lot of the same drama from season to season,
Mhm.
and now at this point, era to era,
Yeah.
like we're a little bit exhausted with it. Like it is what makes it
Mhm.
it, but I don't want that to be it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear Cara Marie Laurel discussions
Oh,
for
please,
12 straight weeks. I
please.
definitely don't want to hear that. That's
No,
last thing I
no.
want to hear.
I'm exhausted
That's
with
the
it.
kind of stuff that could turn me off. So
Yeah.
TJ, you know what you're doing. Figure it out.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
hey, thanks for watching. And we will be back next week, hopefully with Bill. So we will
Yes.
talk to you in the next video. See you later. Peace.